Hello and welcome to another episode of A Day in the District. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington. A Day in the District is a public service program filmed right here at Westside Leadership Academy where we talk all things Gary Community School Corporation. As you can see today, I'm dressed in all of my Westside swag because I knew my special guest was going to be a good friend of mine, our athletic director, Mr. Robert Lee. How did I do, Coach?
You did fantastic.
Yes.
Looking good.
Yes.
Looking good.
On a previous episode, we had the director of our music program, and he was so enthusiastic about the marching band. And so I thought, what better segue than to bring our athletics director back to talk about all the things that have been happening since last season. I know you've been on before,
Yep.
but we're doing a lot. Let me see, where do I want to start? The update of the tennis courts. I'm going to just throw that one out there. What's going on with our sports type facilities?
Well, before we get into that, just, I always want to thank, Dr. McNulty and the whole team. All the things that we're about to discuss has been a team effort. It's not just an athletic director, Robert Lee effort. It's been a team effort. And, man, you mentioned that band.
Yes.
Yeah, you know when they're in the building. You know when they're in the house. They awesome. Frank does a great job with those kids. And I'm looking forward to doing some more things with them next year. But as you mentioned, some of the projects that we have completed since the last time we talked is the tennis court. We have a new tennis court surface with 2 full tennis courts and actually 4 pickleball courts.
Wow.
And so go on YouTube. Check out pickleball. Pickleball is kind of rave right now.
Right. So do we have somebody that can teach us that? I want to learn.
That's the next
That's
stage.
the next step. Okay.
Me and Coach Hank, who couldn't be with us, and I, sending condolence to him and his family in the passing of his mother-in-law.
Yes.
We already then made a pact that we're going to be doubles partners.
Okay.
And we're going to take on all comers and
I'm
get
gonna
the
have to show up.
community playing some pickleball.
Yes. All right. So
So-
all of you pickleballers out there, we're looking for some instructors to have some fun and keep athletics different. I'm sure some of the youth probably know the rage and they can get us started on it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we got the tennis courts done. We'll be competing in girls tennis come this spring. We actually have 4 home matches. I want to say games, but actually matches.
Yes.
We got 4 home matches already scheduled, so we're excited about that. Other things that's done on the outside, as we're remodeling the press box at the football stadium, that's getting close to completion. We're just waiting on the flooring to get in. Excuse me. The company that's Team Fitz that's doing our Jumbotron out at the football stadium, they'll be in during spring break to finish the wiring.
Now, let me ask you about the Jumbotron, Coach. Will that have, video? I mean, will they see me
Yes.
doing the wave and
Absolutely.
everything? Oh, that is going to be fun. Do you
So
know how
it's
much fun that will make the games?
It's a mass television screen.
Okay.
And basically, it's for that purpose as well as, so when we do track, we actually have the track timing
You
system
need that photo finish.
that goes along with the board.
Gotcha.
And it allows us to get the photo finish, but it also allows us to put up results,
Okay.
on there.
Wow, you all are
so-
sounding all Olympic-like now.
Yes. Well, we got a shot of getting this thing right, and we're gonna do everything we can to make sure, our students as they, go and compete other places that they
Right.
feel like, hey, we have the same things and better.
And
as
better.
some of the other
Right here at Gear
communities.
West Side.
That's right.
So you mentioned track. That
Right.
kind of kicked everything off.
Yes.
I went back to YouTube to look at our live broadcast of the dedication of the track, and since then, thousands of viewers, people sharing, alumni commenting, saying
Right.
how proud they are. And so pivoting on or adding on to that is coming up with the football field. Talk a little
That's
bit
right.
about that.
So on April 18th will be, we'll start the project for the football field. It's been long overdue. We've been working diligently with field turf to get the project going. So now we have a start date, and they're giving us 90 days to completion. We believe that it won't take 90 days,
Okay.
but there's some cushion in there in case there's some bad weather days.
Right.
So we're hoping that the field is ready sometime at the end of June, early July.
And then they can get accustomed to it in time for
Exactly.
football season.
Exactly.
Well, I want to take this time to shout out our neighboring school district for hosting our football games
Absolutely.
during the time that we were going through this renovation and that would be New Tech, right?
Calumet New Tech,
Calumet
correct.
New Tech, and Superintendent Shirley over there, we thank you. And that's really what it's all about, for the sake of the children, us coming together, working together to ensure they have the things that they need. And we're with the kids all the time.
Right.
And they voice their concerns. But the amazing thing, Coach, before we go to break, is how they still, despite some of the challenges they've had equipment and facility-wise in years past, they bubble to the top. How excellent are our young athletes, our student athletes?
Yes, they do a wonderful job, and it's one of those things that Gary has always been a blue-collar town. It's always been, full of hard-working individuals who have overcome, a lot of different things. And the students and the kids we have now are no different.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
We've done, since the last time you were here, we've done a few college signings. That's one of my favorite things to
Yep.
do with you all, as our young people have transitioned, graduated, and moved on in sports programs. Are those who graduated, are they keeping in touch?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, one of our basketball players was in the office the other day, Kamari Peterson. And, it's always good to see him. And that's what we talk about when they up here on the stage, come back. So it's always good to see that they follow through with that and that they feel, that there's a welcome mat for them. And, I think you'd be amazed at some of the conversations that we have,
Yes.
and it's so awesome to hear that, these young men and young women, they come back and they starting to just regurgitate some of the same things they were told that you were trying to tell them, in the process.
Making our athletic director so proud, and
Yes,
the team over here at
yes,
Westside Leadership
absolutely.
Academy. You are watching A Day in the District, where we talk all things positive and amazing happening in your Gary Community School Corporation. I'm chatting with my friend and colleague, Robert Lee, Athletic Director of the Gary Community School Corporation. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about our facilities and the sports programs that we are implementing at the lower levels. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm a bookworm. I'm one of those very ambitious, highly motivated, overachievers you've heard about. When I enrolled in Gary Community Schools, I thought I'd be all alone. Sort of like an anomaly or a unicorn. Turns out, that wasn't true at all. There's lots of us here.
Gary Schools. Strong, resilient, built for education.
Welcome back to A Day in the District. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington, chatting with my buddy, our athletic director, Robert Lee. We are so excited about all of the amazing things happening in our athletic program. And Coach, one of the things that you often emphasize when I hear you in your various circles is that our students are students first and then athletes, and therefore we refer to them as student athletes. While we were on break, we were talking a little bit about how we are equipping our students with the necessary facilities and just the environment to help them to be successful. And we talked about the tennis courts, and coming up next is our golf team. And we promoted about the meetings, and we had a lot of folks to come out. We have a new coach, and I said to you, who knows? We may have that next Tiger Woods hanging out around here, walking to school. We may have our Venus and our Serena. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. And with Tiger just
Right.
getting inducted today into the Hall of Fame for golf, we may have another one on the horizon. Talk about the golf program here.
Sure. So we were very fortunate that we secured a golf coach. His name is Tyree Davis, and he is actually the director for youth for the First Tee program
Okay.
out at Lost Marsh Golf Course. So
Oh, that's a perfect connect.
yes, yes. We, I enjoy riding a golf cart and trying to hit the ball, but I am no means an expert at that. And so we just tried to find someone who was already in the community and that was already working with students and
Yes.
young people in golf. And so he's done a great job of trying to build his program. He's, like you said, he had several meetings here at the school. Now he's getting ready, I believe, on March 14th is the official start date.
Okay.
He's working with other high schools in the area because a lot of them do use Lost Marsh as their home course. And so we had a long conversation just last week about, the schedule, and things like that, and how we make sure that our students are able to get to practice and, do those types of things. So I'm excited about it. And, and you mentioned finding the next, Tiger Woods. I think that it first starts off with presenting the opportunity.
Right.
So I'm excited about the opportunity. That's something Coach Davis and I talk about all the time because obviously he wants to have a JV and a varsity.
Right.
And I'm always saying, well, Coach, you're doing a good job, man. You're presenting an opportunity.
Absolutely.
For the kids, and that's what we have to start with.
And
is
you know
that.
what, Coach? As you're talking about it, the first thing that pops in my head, Tiger Woods, yes, but even more scholarships. Because
Yes.
to me, that's a rare area. Our young African-American students, I'm
Yes.
sure there are
Yes.
opportunities for them to go to college on a
Yes.
golf scholarship. Is this male and female?
Yes.
Oh,
now
perfect.
you only do male in the spring. You
Okay.
do female in the fall.
Oh, okay. I didn't
So
know
because
that.
we did not have, tennis and golf in the fall, so we decided to let's do both in the spring. Is trying to get the programs going.
Yes.
So we got but what we're doing that's a little bit different is we are still allowing the females who are interested in golf to practice in the spring so that they
Perfect.
can play all summer long and hone
Yes.
in on their skills and be ready to play in the fall. And then it's going to be the same thing in tennis. Even
Yes.
though we're going to have girls tennis, we are going to start developing some of the young men that want to play so that they're ready to go come fall time.
That is perfect timing and perfect opportunities for all of our young people. So with the tennis matches, we're going to certainly post all schedules on our website, garyschools.org, for all sports. But I'm thinking the tennis match requires quiet. I don't know if I should come, right? So you have
Well,
to be
you know
quiet in the
what?
audience.
Hey,
Because I
come
love
on.
to cheer my Cougars on.
Come on, because it's just certain things right now that I think we all gonna be cheering and be loud for because just the simple fact that we got a new tennis facility
Yes.
and we're gonna have kids out there playing. I don't expect people to hold in the excitement.
know,
It
I
ought to be a
know.
good time and. Who's to say that we have to do it the way Wilmington do it? We don't have
I
to, we don't
know,
have to
that's
put on
right.
white.
We'll have our own West Side Wimbledon. I love it.
So no, that's okay. That's
Okay.
okay. We want to, grow these things and, create excitement about them. So if that means we got to do things a little bit different,
So
hey,
be it.
that's the
I'm
way
ready
it
to get on
is.
the Jumbotron as well. But let's shift lanes for a little while. We've talked a lot about some of the programs starting at the high school level. But the last time you were on, we talked about the importance of creating a stronger middle and elementary sports program so that we can prepare the students to come to West Side and start that pipeline early. What are some updates around that?
Okay, so that's one of those areas in which I really, think about at night, and when I'm not doing things because, we have to do, and when I say we, I have to do a better job of forcing the issue on some of the younger athletic programs. And what I mean by that is it's just a little bit different when you're not in those buildings. So we did have middle school football. We did have middle school girls and boys basketball. The girls' middle school basketball program just wrapped up this week. They just played their last game this week. So again, we're going to start force feeding it. So we really wanted to do elementary school basketball over the winter, but as we toured the gyms, we didn't feel like there was enough room on the sidelines
And
to
COVID.
actually, have parents come out and watch the game. So we're actually going to move it to the spring.
Okay.
And so we're excited about that. I got the last review of the plan through Miss Esther Goods this morning to send out to the principals, and hopefully we can get that going. Okay. Now, where I'm gonna have to do a better job is once we kind of get the high school to where it needs to be and all the facilities upgraded, I'm gonna have to get out more to the middle schools and check out those facilities and things like that, because the thing we've learned this year is that with the busing issues and things like that, we had to figure out a way to be able to keep those sports at those schools.
Yes. And with you at the helm, I'm very confident that it's going to get done. And Coach, pace yourself. You're just one person. And with you and your team, the athletic program in the district has done a full 360. You're watching A Day in the District. I am your host, Chelsea Whittington, talking with Coach, our athletic director, of course we call you Coach, about all things athletics in the district. As you can see, there are amazing events and things that are coming up, and so we're asking that you stay tuned and get ready to support by visiting GarySchools.org. But we're not done. We'll be right back.
It's gross. I don't really want to talk about it.
She didn't want to at first, but it's no big deal. Everybody does it.
I was ready, totally ready, because we had been practicing this dance for weeks.
He was supposed to take this girl to this dance, but
I sprained my ankle at track practice.
I hate sharing anything personal. It's so disgusting.
For the dance, I let her wear my shoes and she hated it, but I thought she looked great in them.
he could barely even walk.
I ended up taking some pills for my pain.
Yeah, they were my mom's, but
it didn't go well.
If it's not yours,
If it's not yours,
if it's not yours,
Hey you,
don't take it.
don't take it.
don't take it.
don't take it. You won't believe what happened next.
Hello, my name is Dr. Paige McNulty. I'm the manager for the Gary Community School Corporation, and I am pleased to be joined today with the Jackson 5 family members, Tito and Marlon Jackson.
Hi,
how are you? Thanks for being here today.
Again. Not only are we members of the world-famous Jackson 5, but we are proud products of the Gary schools.
Growing up in Gary, our school system afforded great opportunities from academics to extracurricular activities.
And today is no different. This is why we encourage you to enroll your child in the Gary schools today.
For more information, please call 219-881-5466 or visit GarySchools.org. And please remember, enroll in Gary Schools today.
Yes,
Right.
definitely enroll.
Gary Schools.
Strong, resilient.
Built for education.
Welcome back to A Day in the District. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington, and we're talking all things sports today with our athletic director, Mr. Robert Lee. So we were talking about elementary and middle high school sports, and I just had to stop and give a shameless plug for, back in the day, I was a power forward, not for Ernie Pyle Red Devils.
That's right.
Power forward.
Yes.
But no, learning those fundamentals from Coach Rod Fisher and others, to me, are some of those memories that we make for young people that they will never forget. I will never forget learning the fundamentals of following your shot, your free throw. So it's not always about, I have to go play pro. It's
Right.
about
Absolutely.
shaping their mindset for good sportsmanship. And these are in leadership. These are the things you talk to your students about and your staff all the
Yep.
time. And so I may not be the fastest person on the team, the best player, but Coach, talk a little bit about just the building of the mental for the athletes.
Right. That's a great point. And because those are the things that me as an athletic director, I don't have to get kids ready for a game, to play a game, but I can help them understand the things that they're going through now to prepare for competition and how it's going to affect them, the rest of their life. And, one of the things that, the kids are kind of complain a little bit about the off-season programs now that we're ramping up off-season and we're doing weight training and this and that. When before they just kind of play their thing
And be done.
be done and be gone.
Right.
But we're trying to get them to the next level.
Right.
Some obviously will be chose to play at the next level, some won't. But the thing that I'm always trying to reiterate is that there's this thing called healthy discomfort.
Okay.
And you can't grow, develop, be good at anything without a little bit of discomfort.
Sure.
And so, the things that we're trying to teach them is that, when you're getting pushed like that, that's a good thing. That's because you'll never get there by yourself.
That's right.
And so it is more than just, preparing for a game, winning the game. It's about, understanding, some of the terms you'll hear people saying, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, things like that. And that's okay.
Yes.
That's healthy,
Yes.
those types of things. So we're trying to teach them how to become more mentally tough.
Yes.
Because again, here's a prime example. We was talking about some of the sectionals that were going on, in the area, and how some programs didn't get calls, that they were getting, and and I know, and I was talking.
Meaning
with Coach,
calls on the floor,
on
like
the floor.
foul. Okay,
Yeah.
got
And
it.
Coach
Okay.
Bugs made a good point in the conversation. He was saying, what I really wanted to say after being that close in a semi-state and losing that game.
Yes.
But I can't say it.
Yeah.
I have to hold back because, he understood that the things that came out of his mouth was going to be reflection of a whole community.
And impact the children.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean by, but if you've never been put in that discomfort state before, you don't really know how to react to it.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Well, I'm just glad to hear, particularly coming on hopefully the other side of a pandemic, that we have the different controls in place to help with that mental piece, because that too has been a factor not only from an athletic standpoint, but just the whole child academically,
Yes,
and making that
absolutely.
readjustment. And I think we're doing an amazing job. So we got to address the big old elephant in the room. Because I'm on the PR side of things, I know some of the rumblings in the community. And one of the things, especially from our alumni, what's going on with the pool? Are we getting the pool fixed? Do we have a swim team? Could you just give us the update? Give us the rundown, Coach.
Yeah, well, yes, we have a swim team. And yes, Coach January and Coach Williams has done a fantastic job. We do have boys and girls swimming. Unfortunately, that we use the YWCA down in downtown Gary for practice. But that is very high on our list, is getting that pool done. And it's in the design phase right now. We hope to have a design, on our desk soon.
Yeah.
Actually, I met with a couple of guys on our team today about that, and we made a list of things we need to get out to other communities and see their pools to make sure that
we're on par,
with things
better.
we need to do. And the interesting thing that came out of the conversation is that, so it's not just athletic directors. So Mr. Denny is kind of part of my team now, one of the custodians, and he brought up a very good point about, we start talking about showers and locker rooms, and we was like, Well, all that has changed now, you know. So how do we need to go find out?
How do we
what does that
retrofit
look like
and-
now?
yes,
now,
yes.
you know, because you know you want to make sure that our kids are comfortable. They do have private space, you know, and things like that.
They
And we
deserve
need to
it.
get out there and see what other people or other schools in the community, or even like like fitness clubs. What are
Yes,
they doing
what are
to
they
help their
doing?
clients with privacy and things like that, so that it's not just a pool for competition, but it's a pool that we can actually teach swimming in the classrooms, and
Yes.
you know our students feel comfortable with going in and getting dressed and
Yes.
preparing and things like that. So that has been a at the front of the it's been at the
a
forefront
high
of
priority.
things.
And I'm glad
So-
to hear that, Coach, because it's another one of those opportunities for students, scholarships.
Yep.
But I will say, to your credit and to school districts across the country, as we make improvements, as we order equipment, the pandemic is such that there's supply and demand. So there's a weight on things like that. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure there aren't like 1 million pool companies just hanging out waiting to design pools. That's kind of a refined skill that you have to price out and really have special care in getting that done. But I'm glad you gave us that update. As we get ready to wrap up, real quick, talk about the football conference we're looking to join, and then we'll shut it down.
So we're looking to join the Greater South Shore Conference, and that'll be in 2023 season.
Okay.
And it'll be just football only for now, but we're looking to actually start playing some of those schools and other sports as well. So some of the schools that's in that conference, if you don't know, it's like Calumet,
Okay.
Whiting, Wheeler, River
So what you're basically
Forest, and-
saying is we are getting ready to stomp with the big dogs. Coach, I'm going to have you back because there's so much to talk about, all things sports. And I'm sure you have enjoyed watching Coach Lee and the whole athletic team make our district better athletically and beyond. I have been your host, Chelsea Whittington. Thank you so much for watching A Day in the District, and we will see you next time.
WSTG TV.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm a bookworm. I'm one of those very ambitious, highly motivated, overachievers you've heard about. When I enrolled in Gary Community Schools, I thought I'd be all alone. Sort of like an anomaly or a unicorn. Turns out, that wasn't true at all. There's lots of us here.
Gary Schools. Strong, resilient, built for education.